Hello everybody and welcome to the channel Crossing the Spiritual Streams. My name is Tandra and today we're doing a bonus reading, bonus pick a pile reading. We normally do our daily messages from Spirit and another pick a pile reading on the weekends. This weekend will be your March 2022 reading, but we wanted to do an extra reading this week and it's going to be on the Pluto return for the United States and how that might affect you personally. Normally, Pluto returns don't affect people personally, at least not based on their own personal Pluto returns, because it takes about 248 years for it to return. And what a return means is that the planet is going to return back to the place where it was in your chart when you were born. The United States was born on July 4th of 1776, and so now Pluto has now entered the degree and the placement that it was in the chart at that time. And the Pluto planet itself represents death and rebirth. It's getting rid of old, bringing forth new. Some countries have gone through Pluto returns a few different times, like Britain, for instance. But the United States, at least as far as its present incarnation, not the North American continent dealing with, when Native Americans are here and so forth, but as the country, the United States itself, is now hitting its first Pluto planetary return. And so that means a lot of big changes. It is happening in the second house of the United States chart, so that will be dealing a lot with money and finances and other issues like that. And so we can expect a lot of changes along those lines. Whatever is affecting a country as a whole often will affect the citizens or the people living in that country. So I suspect for a lot of you, if you live in the United States, this will have some effect on you personally. And then also for those of you who don't live in the country, because there should be some very major changes for the United States, those changes might affect you as well, because they might have a ripple effect or become global changes. So I just thought it might be interesting to see how this Pluto return might affect you personally. So we are going to do it like we normally do, with 3 separate piles for you to choose from. We have pile 1 here with the blue and green planet. We have pile 2 with the blue planet with the rings around it. And then we have pile 3 with the purple planet with the green rings around it. So you have 3 different choices here on how this return might affect you. We're going to let you decide with your gut instinct as to which pile will have the correct type of reading for you. We also will be doing our charms and our oracle spheres in this reading as well, to help us find out some other ways that this might affect you, or how your life might change because of these changes. Okay? It is best to go with your gut instinct on this, so we're going to give you some time to reflect on the piles. When you are ready, there will be timestamps in the description that will lead you directly to your reading, and we'll see you there. Hello, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading on the effects of the Pluto return for the USA on your life personally, or how it might affect you specifically. If you missed it in the intro, normally Pluto returns take about 248 years, so they don't generally apply to specific people as far as their own Pluto returns, but because it is on a countrywide scale, you should still have quite a few effects from it, because things that happen for different countries affect that country and the world in general. So we're going to just look into and maybe get an idea of how it might affect you. This particular Pluto return for the United States is happening in the United States' second house, which deals a lot with finances, money, wealth, and also our emotions, and how we deal with things, and so forth. So there's liable to be quite a few changes going on, and we'll see how those might affect you. Okay. So we've got our tarot cards here we're going to look at. We're also going to do our charms and our oracle spheres, so you can think of a yes or no question that you'd like to get an answer to. All right. So let's kind of get a look here and see if we can figure out how this might affect you. Well, we have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Five of Cups. Okay. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Nine of Cups. Okay. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Five of Cups again. We have the Defeat, or the Five of Swords. We have the Established Strength, or the Three of Wands. So that's the second time we've had the Three of Wands. And then we also have the Knight of Cups. Okay, I got a couple of different energies going on here, and that kind of makes sense in a lot of ways based on what might happen throughout the United States during this return. The actual Pluto actually entered into Capricorn back in 2008. This is when the big banking collapse happened and other financial things really started going haywire in the United States. And so we've been feeling the effects of this Pluto all the way since then. And the actual Pluto return is going to be until 2023. So we're going to have the biggest effects and changes happening during that time. But then it will also last quite a bit longer after that. Probably as well, several years after that. So there'll be kind of an aftermath kind of thing. But for this next, year and a half, 2 years or so, I guess it's about a year now, a little over a year, the upheavals that are going to be happening should really kind of, I get the feeling, the way we deal with finances, and I feel like we're going to be going through a period where people that aren't making as much money, more social programs are going to come about to help them out, but temporarily things are going to be in an upheaval, and inflation might hit really hard. It's possible that even if you get a job, you'll be underpaid, and it might not be enough to help support you, and you won't be doing really well wealth-wise. There's going to be new currencies that are going to be important. Probably, Bitcoin's been very popular, and then this new, I'm not even sure what it's called. It's where people buy art and things, and it's like money, I guess, sort of. So that's kind of an online thing as well, or a digital thing as well. I think more digital types of currency might be coming about. Maybe how we do banking and finances and all that kind of stuff is going to change. So I think it's going to cause a lot of upheaval. And I think that's true for everybody. And in your specific case, I think it's going to make you feel kind of at a loss at first, emotionally. Remember, the second house does deal with our emotions and so forth. And I do think it might affect you emotionally as well, because things aren't going to be the same. Things are going to be topsy-turvy. Things are going to change around, and it's going to be, kind of a difficult transition. I believe, at first. Now, also, where Pluto is in your chart should make a difference as well, because that might affect you slightly differently than other people. So that might be something you'll look into. But from what I can get from the reading is that emotionally, with the Five of Cups being here twice, I feel like emotionally, and at first, you might feel very much in despair over money issues, and matters like that, because you're going to feel, we also have the Five of Swords, which was a defeat card in this particular deck. I think it's going to make you feel like, you're fighting a losing battle. You're not sure, what to do. I think it's going to make you feel a little bit emotionally topsy-turvy, because things are just going to be, so mixed up and different and changes. I do think that as things go along and as more of the changes start taking effect, like I said, I do think they're going to be painful ones for the United States, because the United States has always been very much about its wealth and how it earns money and things like that, which makes sense with Pluto being in its second house. And I do think money matters might be a focus for you, because a lot dealing with money is going to happen. And I think you're going to find new ways to make money. The Seven of Pentacles here kind of shows me that just slightly. I think you're going to have a different emotional attachment to money. I think in the long run, once a lot of these changes have kind of gone through, and some of the growing pains of making things different and changes, some of the other planetary influences in the United States right now, the last time they were in effect, the way they were dealing with some of this in relation to Pluto, is that happened in the 1930s, and that's when the Great Depression happened. Things were really, really hard, but out of that, we ended up getting a lot of new, Social Security started up, other things like that came about. We had new banking regulations, and made things harder for it to be difficult for people in the long run to lose their wealth and things like that. So I do feel like that those kinds of changes will affect you personally on the emotional level quite a bit. Probably not a ton on the financial level at first. I feel like things won't be a ton different for you, other than your relationship with money, and how you feel about it, and how things are going on. I think the emotional side of it is going to affect you more than the money side at first. But then I think you're going to find a way. We have the Three of Wands here twice. One is called Established Strength in this particular deck. And what that shows for me is, I think that once things start settling down a little bit, you start seeing the benefits of what's been changing and what's happening, and you start noticing that a little bit more. I think you're going to come to terms with what's been going on emotionally. You're going to get a lot more stable. You're going to realize it's good for you in the long run. I think you're going to start making more money, or having more money in abundance coming into your life. You're going to see more things feel that way, and you're going to start feeling, your emotions are going to do a flip-flop, and you're going to start feeling a lot more emotionally happy and better about this, with the Knight and the Nine of Cups happening here. I think you're going to start feeling, a little bit more stable. Three of Wands energy, to me, I always get the idea of somebody really contemplating their future, and somebody really getting ready to decide on the next journey and the next phase of their life, so to speak, and so forth. That's always the energy I get from that card, no matter what traditional meanings might say. That's what I pull from it. And also, with this being Established Strength, I do feel like you will come out of this stronger. You will come out of this, emotionally more stable. I do think you might feel a period of just, with the fives here, you're going to feel some change for sure. You're going to feel it. We've also got the Seven of Swords, which is also, you might feel like other people have more than you, or other people are reaping some benefits that you can't figure out how to tap into, and so forth. I feel like those kind of energies might be about at first, but I do feel like after you get through the 5 and 7 energies of change, and you start seeing a little bit of the benefits of what has gone on, and you start being able to tap into how you can make it work for you, then you're going to start feeling a lot more better emotionally. You're actually going to start being able to bring in a little bit more financially, and you're going to start feeling a lot more emotionally less in despair over what's been going on. Okay, those energies do make somewhat sense over what might happen during the next couple of years here. Those emotions do make sense, but I do think for you personally, it's going to affect you more emotionally than it is financially, especially at first. And then I think in the long run, financially, things should get better, and you should be slightly more prosperous and more on stable ground as far as that goes, since those are the main energies that's going to be going on with this Pluto return. Let's go ahead and look at our charms to see what else might affect you, or other things that might crop up during this time, okay? Now, one of the things I would like to say with this, since I do feel like emotionally you might be more affected during this time frame, is try to stay on an even keel as much as you can. Try to realize that change sometimes can be a good thing. Uh, Realize that in the long run you're going to benefit from this, and even though things aren't the way you're used to, and things are kind of an upheaval and so forth, try not to let it affect you to the point of getting depressed or any of those type of feelings. Do your best to realize, pay attention to the reading and say, okay, well, I know this is happening. I know it's coming up. I'm, forewarned is forearmed. I realize that these changes are going to take place. There's not anything I can do about it, but in the long run, Pluto is all about getting rid of things that are no longer working, things that don't work well, things that don't serve us anymore, and bringing about a new rebirth and resurgence. That's what Pluto is all about. And so, since it will be dealing with these finances and how we think about money and wealth and how we earn it and all of those things will be taking place right now. Even though that's a change for you, and like I said, it's emotional because it's so different, and you just, when things change up in our lives, a lot of times it just kind of throws us for a loop. But realizing that getting rid of the old and bringing in the new will actually be better, and will behoove you more and make you happier and so forth. By realizing that throughout it, it will lessen the emotional effects during the change, if you understand what I mean by that. Okay? Let's go ahead and see what the charms have to say here. Okay, we do have a 6. I like the 6 energy. The 6 is a good stable energy, and it's also people who have a life path number of 6 are nurturers and they're protectors and that kind of thing. And so I love having the 6 in this reading because it shows the homeliness, the motherly wrapping arms around, even though that's often a 4 energy. It's the nurturer, the protector, the relying on family and friends and that kind of thing. So I do feel like this will affect you in the way of, you might go into a service industry type of job if you're not already in one. Actually, I feel like a lot of our finances are going to turn that way, and so it would not be unusual for that to happen for you. But that is a problem, or a possibility, I guess, is what I really wanted to say there. We do have some other interesting energies here. We do have the 9 of Cups again, which I like how you guys keep getting the same energies. That reinforces them. So even though your emotional upheaval has been reinforced with the 5 of Cups, and your stability and you finding a new path and a new way in life is being reinforced with the 3 of Wands, your actual ultimate happiness, stability, cheerfulness, and feeling emotionally fulfilled about the situation is also being reinforced with the 9 of Cups. So I really like that. That's kind of a progression you guys have going on there. So I really like that. We do have a turtle. I see that as kind of maybe a slow-moving change. Pluto is a very slow-moving planet. This change might take quite a while to take effect. Like I said, a lot of it's been happening since 2008. And we might see some of the largest shifts happening over the next year or two, but that it will continue on for a while. So this is a kind of an energy we're going to be in for a while. So just to let you know that not all of these shifts are going to happen overnight. It's not going to be something that all of a sudden everything's different. It will be gradual changes. It'll be this law will change, or that will crop up and be something new and different, and then people will go this route and do that. It'll take a little while to let you know, but it will be changes happening, over time, and a lot of them, and eventually they'll accumulate into a larger change. Okay. So just to kind of let you know, we do have the elephant here, which does show strength. It does show longevity. So I do feel like you will have strength throughout this. You will have longevity. You will, be able to prosper from this change and so forth. We also have a couple of other energies here that are really cool. We have the mermaid, we have the swan, we have a unicorn. All of those energies to me show transformation, change for the better, things turning out beautiful. You think of rainbows and unicorns, you think of magical things happening. You think of I always think of the ugly duckling turning into the swan, and the mermaid, deciding to get her wish and go on land. Those are transformations, but they were good transformations. I know the original mermaid story was not that, but we won't go there. We'll go with the more popular version. And so I do see this will transform you. This will change up, like I said, how you have emotions about money, how you feel about wealth, the things that you find important as far as earning money or gaining wealth or abundance. Will change up. You will change up how you deal with things emotionally, but it will be a good change. It will be something that will be a lot different than the way it was before, and it will be a lot better. So that's what I see on that. We also have the bow here and the Alice in Wonderland. Those are children's symbols to me. So I do feel like you might actually start feeling a little freer, like you did as a child. You actually might feel a little less chained, a little less bundled up, a little less. I'm trying to think of another word that might come to mind here, but basically, like I said, your emotions and your relationship with money is going to change, and with that, I feel like you're going to feel freer. You're going to feel more like you have more available options to you. You're not going to feel quite as burdened. You're not going to feel quite as, as children, quite often we don't have as many responsibilities, or we get to go do a little bit more fun things more often than as an adult, or we are more free to think of things besides our responsibilities. And I feel like that energy is in store for you as well, which is really nice, because we also have the Imagine, and we also have the Star Bunny. And Bunny is I see as renewals and as the newness. So I think of the emphasis on the newness is going to come up here, and the changes that'll take place, and how things will change up to something new. And with the Star Bunny, that means you can wish upon a star. That means you can look out at the star and get new things, new ideas of abundance, and how to create things, and how to bring wealth into your world. And like I said, your relationship with money and wealth and abundance might change, which will make you feel freer and happier as well. So that's a really good thing to look forward to. I really like that idea here. We also have a P and an E. Those could be initials. Those could be, you could think of certain words when those come into mind for you, or however you'd like to do that. I usually let people do that when we only have a couple of letters here, unless a specific word comes to mind for me. But I'll let you guys deal with those. All right, let's move on to our Oracle spheres. This is where you ask a yes or no question that you'd like to get an answer to, and you pick a stand. We have green, gold, bronze, and blue. Okay, so you decide which stand you'd like to get your answer on, and then you think of a yes or no question, and we go out and we get the answers. Whoa. Okay, just a sec here. All right, number 1, green, is a yes. Number 2, gold is very likely. All right. Number 3, bronze is a yes. And then number 2, blue is a not now. Something came to me on this that usually never happens, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. Green represents wealth. It has a yes. The gold would also represent wealth or money, as far as gold goes, and it was a very likely. The bronze also could represent money in some ways. You think of building wealth possibly through bronze, and that was a yes. And then the blue, I think of it more as an emotional color or dealing with emotions, and it was a not now. I found that very intriguing. You can take that with what you will. I don't know if that means anything at all, but it kind of came to me, so I thought I would go ahead and mention it. So there we go. There are your Oracle Sphere answers for today, and I very much appreciate you being here for the reading. If you guys could give us a thumbs up, share the channel with your friends and family, and leave us comments. All of those things mean a great deal to us. Also, if you can go ahead and stick around YouTube and watch some other videos, either ours or somebody else's, that should help us out as well, believe it or not. And I, thought I'd throw that out there for you guys. So that, if you'd like to help out us and other channels as well, that's one way to do so, is to stick on YouTube for 2 or 3 different channels and change up which person you might leave YouTube on. That way, that'll help us all out. It's just one of the weird quirks of the algorithm that's out there. All right, guys, we look forward to seeing you for other videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the little blue planet here with the gold ring around it. We have your reading here on how the Pluto return for the United States might affect your life personally. If you missed it in the introduction, Pluto returns only happen every 248 years, approximately. And because of that, generally the influence is on countries and other things like that rather than people individually. But whenever big changes happen for specific countries, those usually do affect our lives as well. And so I thought this reading might be kind of nice to find out how this might be affecting us. This actual transit started back in 2008. That's when it entered Pluto entered Capricorn, and that's when the banking crash happened. It's when a lot of other things in upheavals in the United States started happening. So this has been going on for a while. Pluto is a very slow-moving planet, and even though right now it's in the return, and it will be until I believe March of 2023, so for about a year or so, a little over a year, it will still be moving and be in these energies for a little while longer after that. So this is kind of a long change kind of period, even though right now this is kind of the pinnacle of it. This is when some of the largest changes might happen and so forth for the next year or so. But all of these changes that are happening are in the United States second house, which deals with money, finances, our relationship to money and abundance and wealth and those kinds of things, and also our emotions and our feelings about things. So the changes in the United States are liable to take place in the realm of finances and how we deal with money, and what kind of money comes in, how we deal with wealth, how we earn money, where we earn money, like maybe earning from home, like what's been happening lately. Other things like that. A lot of financial type stuff should be changing, and that should have an impact on your life in some way, shape, or form. And so we're going to take a look here and find out what that impact might be, and where and in what areas of your life, or how it might affect you. Okay, so let's take a look. We do have our tarot cards. We'll also look at our charms and our oracle spheres as well. All right, we do have the Queen of Cups. We have the High Priest. Okay. The King of Wands. All right. Oh, we have the Princess of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, what an awesome reading so far. The Eight of Pentacles. We do have the Hanged Man. Okay. We've got the Emperor. We got the Peace card, or the Two of Swords. And then we have the Swiftness, or the Eight of Wands. Wow, okay. This transit is actually going to be very good for you. I believe financially, you should find ways during this time to make more money, increase your abundance, getting a job or working in a job that you should make more money at and be more fulfilled in. In areas of wealth and finances, I do believe things should increase for you. You should start doing much better. I also feel like emotionally this will be a really good time for you as well. A lot of the things that you've been trying to manifest, or that you would like to manifest or bring about, you have a really good opportunity to do so. This transit should be very beneficial for you. These kind of changes going about are right up your alley. They're the kinds of things that you will really appreciate. You're going to be on top of things. I do feel like you might be able to make good decisions on how to ride the waves, so to speak, of the new changes in finances and how we make money and how we deal with money, and social programs that might come up, or other things, how they might be handled. I think you're going to be able to make the most of them. I think, you're going to feel very good about those types of areas of your life. And so the changes that are coming about are going to be ones that you're going to be able to know how to handle. You're going to be able to know how to deal with. You're going to benefit from them. You're going to be able to utilize them to your strongest effect. That's interesting because it's slightly different, or quite a bit different than pile one. So I wasn't sure how this reading would go. I just felt compelled to do it. And so I was very excited to do it, but I wasn't sure if all the readings would be basically the same, or if, everybody would be affected similarly, but I guess not, which I really like, because that means that it was worth doing the reading. So there you go. This is very exciting. I do feel like some of the changes that might take place that I haven't talked about so far, besides our relationship to money and finances and how we earn money and wealth and abundance and what that means and all of those things, besides those things changing for all of us just as a matter of course because of the transit, I do also see that that might cause some other social upheavals, like our relationship to spirit and spirituality and religion and other things like that. I see some of those changes possibly coming about for the United States, which might come about for others as well, because as a collective we might start changing how we feel about some of these things, or what we think about some of these things, or being able to merge them together. I think there has been this fight between spirituality, the way some people look at it, and religion, the way some people look at it, and they feel like they're at odds with each other, like they can't coexist, they can't both be right, they can't both work together. And I don't believe that that's true. I think they can work together. They might both be right in their own respective ways. And I feel like that shift might be one that will happen as a collective. And I think that that is another energy that you can deal with very well. I think that you might come into your absolute feelings about these types of areas of your life, and how you feel about them, and how you work with them and what you do with them. I think that that is also something that you will be able to work with. I also feel like you will have a strong protective energy over your family and friends and anybody that you might be responsible for. I feel like you're going to be very protective of them. You're going to be very, very beneficial to them. As far as, I think you're going to reach possible heights as a boss, like you might become your own boss, or like in a career, or you might lead others in some way. I think you're going to be kind of a leader in some of this. You might even be have some ideas that might help with some of this change. You might actually have some really good ideas. You might be right on top of it. You guys might have strong Aquarian energies in your chart. You don't have to, but it's probably very possible that you do, because I do feel like they're going to be kind of leaders during this transition, and have some really good ideas, and be able to help out with some things that go along there. So I think that's something, that's another energy that you have going for you. That's something else that I think will be something that you will deal with as well. So not only are you going to be able to do really well during this period, I think you might come out as a leader during it, or maybe even a pioneer in some of these things. I think you might have some really good ideas, because you are willing to look at things from a different perspective. You are willing to see things as how they could be rather than the way they are. And you're willing to, you might even have some visions of some things as they're going to change, and I think that's going to help you in this, because I think you're going to be able to see where the trends are going and how things are changing, and that's one of the ways that you're going to benefit from it, because you do have the Hangman and the Peace card, or the Two of Swords here, and I see that energy of you being able to kind of see things from the new perspective and the difference in how things are going to come about. And so you being able to do that is going to be able to put you on top of this. It is going to be able to help you benefit from this transition really, really well. So that's exciting. I'm really glad that that's happening for you. If you have any suggestions or other things for any of us on that, put it down in the comment section. We could all use it. Any kind of advice that you might have on this, since you kind of are tuned in and tapped into it, I believe. I think you might be able to give us some ideas of what you think would be really good to help us ride this wave. So that would be awesome. All right, let's take a look at your charms. Let's see what other effects this transit might have, or some other ways you might look at this, or that kind of thing. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Give them a really good shake up. Let's see what we got. Okay, we have a number 4. I love that. 4 is the ultimate foundation and stabilizing energy, which just goes along with the rest of the reading, in that you'll be able to build a really good foundation from these changes and these things that are happening, and so forth. And so that is just shown by that. So I really like that. Also, that does go to show about you being the protector of, your family group, you kind of being, helping them out and all that, because the 4 energy is the motherly energy. It is the home energy, that kind of thing. So you've got, all of that going for you there. We do also have the luxury car here, which just goes to show, I really feel like you should have some really good abundance during this time, and you should have a lot of good luxuries and those kinds of things coming to you. So that just kind of reinforced that as well. We also have the beautiful charm thing. So I really believe that, things should turn out very beautiful for you during this time. You should have a lot of beautiful things around you, some things, that you feel really good about. It is interesting here how we have the cross, or the so forth there, because that deals with the spirituality portion of it that we were talking about, that I do feel like you should be in tune really well spiritually with what you think, and what's going on there. So I really like that. We have a couple of other interesting things. I love my dog, or dogs, which is really good. That charm has only shown up twice in any readings that I've ever known of. One of them was actually a animal reading, and one is this reading. So I think that that's probably just a specific message for some of you to know that you're on the right pile. Okay. Other than that, I wouldn't know how it would fit into this specifically for any other reason. So that's where we're going to go with that. We do have some other magical things here. We have a purple llama. We have the fairy or Tinkerbell sort of energy. We have the hot air balloon, willpower. All of those things there represent things moving up. Things, wishes being granted. Things, like I said, things moving up. So things, moving into the clouds. It's a, generally a good feeling. It's a good energy. It's a good type of omen, and I really feel like that's where you guys are heading, is up. And uniqueness there with the purple llama. I see that as being able to do that. We also have the Alice from Alice in Wonderland. To me, she means different things in different readings, but in your specific case, I believe about she went down the rabbit hole and experienced many unusual different things. And I feel like that's kind of your energy as well, that you're going to experience many unique and different things, but you're going to come out of it unscathed and happy and healthy and really well. So, I guess we're kind of all going down the rabbit hole, I think, right now. I mean, she actually showed up in the first reading as well. I feel like, that uniqueness, that difference, those unusual things you're going to be able to take in your stride. You're going to be able to deal with really, really well. And like I said, benefit from it. So, yeah. Okay, so that kind of goes along as well. We also have a P and a V. Those could be initials. Those could stand for specific words if you see them and think of them. Or have any other meaning that you might think of during there when you see those letters. So I'm just going to let you guys work with that. All right, let's go ahead and go on to our Oracle spheres. This is where you think of a yes or no question that you'd like to get an answer to. You pick a stand. We have green, bronze, blue, and gold. You pick which stand you'd like to get your answer on, and we'll go out and get your answers. Number 1, green, is a very likely. Number 2, bronze, is also a very likely. Number 3, blue, is a no. And number 4, gold, is a not sure. So we have a very likely, a no, and a not sure. So there's your Oracle sphere answers for today. Thank you so much for being here for this reading. Please remember to give us a thumbs up, share the channel with your friends and family, and leave us comments in the comments section. All those things are very important to us. Also, if you could stick around and watch another video, either through us or through somebody else on YouTube, that would help our channel and other channels out as well. If you could stick around and watch, at least one other video, like I said, either of ours or somebody else's. And believe it or not, that's kind of something weird in the YouTube algorithm. And so I decided to start asking people to do that. All right. Thank you so much for being here. We look forward to seeing you again. And may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading on how the Pluto return from the United States is going to affect you personally. You guys are the ones that chose the little purple planet here with the ring around it. If you missed it in the introduction, Pluto returns only happen about every 248 years or so. And so generally they don't affect people personally as far as their own personal Pluto returns, but because they do affect countries and other entities like that, they still should have effects on us personally because of the worldwide effects of these changes that should happen. Pluto is a planet of destruction and rebirth. So basically it's to get rid of old, outdated things that aren't working, or to move on, make room for new, better, bolder things. Pluto is happening in the second house of the United States chart. That's where it was when the United States was created, and that's where it's coming back to. It has actually moved into this transit back in 2008. That's when the banking crash happened and other major changes started happening in the United States. And because it is in the second house, that does deal with finances, wealth, abundance, those types of energies, as well as our emotions and how we emotionally deal with things and so forth. That's what the second house represents. And since it is happening in the United States second house, a lot of changes should be happening, dealing with finances, dealing with the way we deal with money, the types of money that come up, things like Bitcoin and other digital type of mediums for money are very possible. How we earn money, where we earn money, what we do with people that don't have a lot of money, social programs, other things like that are also likely to change and be different during this time. The specific return is happening all the way until early 2023. So there's a full year of probably some of the major changes happening. But like I said, this transit actually started back in 2008. And it will go on for a while longer after that. Pluto moves very slowly. So these changes are actually going to be slow moving changes, but they should get a little quicker right now during this next year. And maybe some of the more major changes, or at least things that will cause major changes to happen, should happen right around now. So those should affect you in some way, shape, or form. Actually, in the other two piles, they were totally different ways that they affected those people. So I was excited by that because I was a little worried because this is such a global type of energy that maybe it wouldn't affect each individual type of person slightly differently, but it looks like that's the case. I'm really glad that happened. So let's take a look here. Let's see what it says specifically for your pile, and we'll also look at your charms on this as well, and your oracle sphere, so you can be thinking of a yes or no question. So let's take a look at what we got here. We've got the Hermit. We got the Lovers. Okay. The King of Cups. Yep. Okay. Got it. The World card. All right. The World card again. Wow. Love that double energy. The Queen of Pentacles. The Ten of Cups. The Tower card. Goes right along with Pluto. Pluto is definitely Tower energy. Then we got the Queen of Pentacles again. And then we have the Empress card. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. First of all, emotionally, I believe that during this time and these changes, you're going to rely on your partner, your lover, your family greatly. Okay? I think you're going to get closer to them. You might build a family. You might get married or have children during this time. And so emotionally, this is going to be actually a pretty good time for you. There is going to be some major upheaval and change with the Tower card here that definitely shows that. And it does make sense because the world is going to be changing quite a bit during this time, especially in the United States. As far as your finances go, you have the Queen of Pentacles twice. You also have the World card twice. And so with that energy, I feel like you're going to kind of be able to ride this wave. With the Hermit energy, the first energy I got was that you guys are going to kind of hang off to the side. That you guys are going to kind of not really be in the fray. That you're not really going to let these changes really affect you in a lot of ways. You're just going to kind of go with the flow. You're going to live your life the way you were living it, and you're just going to kind of go on. It's not, you're not going to necessarily interact with all the changes. You're not going to try to benefit from them directly, like, play the stock market or any kind of crazy thing like that. That's more of a pile 2 energy. You're not going to be totally emotionally affected by all this going on. You're just going to kind of go about your daily life, so to speak, okay? So from your point of view, these major changes will benefit you, and you should do really well from them, but you're not going to really let them affect you on a day-to-day basis. It's not going to really be something that you will have to interact with much. In the long run, you're going to do really well with it. I think financially you'll come out on top, in that whatever changes take place will probably benefit you financially in some way. Like I said, I do think you're going to rely on your family and your close loved ones and other things like that. So like I said, your day-to-day life is going to be more like you've already been living it. It's going to be, more, you're just going to keep going along the way you are. And along with that, you're going to have emotional, happiness. You're going to feel very much fulfilled. Uh, you're going to like the changes once they finished happening and all that. Maybe not while they're happening, because, sometimes it's really hard. But I don't think you're going to really mind so much the changes, though. You're not going to be, like I said, taking a huge advantage of them, but you're not going to be really super emotionally upset by them. You're just going to go along and live your life and be happy with things as the way they come out and how things affect you and change. So that's a really interesting energy. All three piles have very different approaches to this and very different ways that this handled. So I really think that that's very cool. I really like that happened, because like I said, I felt compelled to do this reading, but I really wasn't sure how it would come out. I was almost afraid every reading would be the same or that everybody would be affected the same way or deal with it the same way, and that's not been the case at all. So that's really cool. But yeah, you guys, like I said, you are going to maybe experience a tower moment. You are going to have some swift changes that might happen at some point during this time. But tower moments can be quite good ones. They can be emotionally like, oh my goodness, and they could be, oh wow, I didn't expect that, and you're kind of like, oh, okay. But a lot of times with the tower, especially with the Pluto energy, because they really go along really well with each other, tearing down the old and building up the new. That's the energy that Pluto has, and that's kind of the energy of the tower as well. And so with that, whatever tower moment you should experience during this time frame will be one that you'll be like, well, okay, that's my life now, and things are actually better, so I'm good with it. Okay, that's kind of the energy I'm getting with that. Even though it'll be a quick change, it'll be an unexpected change, it'll be something different, it will be one that you will be okay with, because I mean, maybe not right away, and, might take you a moment or two to kind of get your bearings back and be used to what's going on. But basically, I think it's going to be one that you're going to benefit from, and so you're going to see that, and you're going to go, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'm good with that. I'm glad this change happened for me. Okay, and so that's kind of the energy I'm getting during this time frame, is that you're going to kind of go about your daily life the way you usually go about it. You're going to rely on family and friends, very much so. It is very possible that if you're not married or don't have a partner, that you will get one. And that that'll be the person or somebody that you can hang on to during changes or other things. That might be how your life changes. You might actually meet somebody because of that. The hermit energy too, where you will kind of keep to yourself. You'll kind of keep your head down. Like I said, you won't really get out there and go for change, or you won't really be super upset or super happy about what's happening. You're just going to kind of go with the flow and that kind of thing. And that emotionally and financially and wealth and abundance wise, you should come out on top during all of this. You should work out very well for you. So that's really exciting. I really like that. It's really neat energies that we had during the readings today. I've been very intrigued by that. Let's go ahead and look at your charms. Let's see if there's anything else that we might look at during this time, or charms often will reinforce what we've been looking at as well. So let's see what we've got going here. Super good mix up here. Okay, wow. Lots of dice showed up for you guys. All right, you have 2 2s and a 4. Okay, that goes right along with your reading, and I'll explain. 2s are the coming together energy. You had the Lover's card. I talked about you possibly getting a partner or that kind of thing. The 4 is the home energy. It's the family energy. It's that feeling of stability, and so forth. So I feel like, that structure, you have 2 plus 2 equals 4, you have 2 2s, you have a 4. So this should be a very stable time for you, especially after the tower moment happens, or you should be able to build a really good foundation, along with that partnership energy going along here. So just letting you know that that's kind of the way this should affect you. That's kind of what's going on here. I do think possibly building up a family and so forth is also a possibility. You also have the 2 of Pentacles. It's another 2. So very much partnerships, relying on partners, building up foundations, working with the home and family and other things are very much indicated for you guys. So that's kind of the energy we've got going on here. We also have, okay, let's see what we've got going. Okay. We have lots of cards here. Let's take a look at what we've got there. We have the 6 of Hearts and the 6 of Pentacles. The 6s are also good stable energies. They're also good getting past any kind of changes of any 5s. You didn't have any 5s in your reading like that, which shows that the change won't affect you as much as other people, and you will actually be on the other side of that 5 change energy of moving forward, getting the benefits of what you learned and what happened during the 5s and so forth. So you're going to kind of skip the major upheaval part other than the 1 tower moment that we had talked about. And you're going to be able to move on from that and do very well. So you guys aren't going to feel the effects quite the same way as maybe some other people might. Okay. You also have the 8 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. Those are very good energies for you, reaping some good benefits from this and feeling very fulfilled. The Wands energy is a passionate energy, and so forth. You didn't really have any other Wands in your reading, so what I can get from these is more from the numbers than from the Wands energy themselves, in that the 8 is good financial, 10 is good emotional and stability and abundance wise, and we'd already seen that in your reading, so that kind of goes along well. You also had the Queen of Swords. You might get some new clarity during all of this time frame. The Hermit card kind of suggests that as well, in that he's kind of the, comes back with wisdom sort of energy. Okay, some other energies. I also believe some of you guys actually might build up a family during this time. We talked about that earlier. That's coming through kind of strong, that some of you guys might have children, or, in some way children might play a role in this. With the Rudolph, with the hair bow and hair tie, and the that kind of thing, I really believe that that's a possibility. It's interesting how you have live in the moment and be you bravely. I do feel like you will kind of live in the moment during this. You will, like I said, you're going to kind of go with the flow. You're going to, live your everyday life. You're going to, keep going on and do your thing. And that, kind of just showed that. As far as being you bravely, I like that in that, yeah, do you. Just go around, enjoy your life, and do what you're going to do and what you like doing. And that's, the best you can do. And I think that is very much a strong energy in you guys' reading anyway. So that coming through is very cool that way. We do have the Believe, and we do have Rudolph. We also have the Rainbow Cloud. So I think you just need to believe that things are going to work out okay, and that you can, have the things that you want to have. You can be happy and joyful and, comfortable and, abundant that way. You just have to believe in that, because the energies are all there for you to have that. We do have the Forever here, which, considering I think some of you guys might find your forever partners during this time, or have found your forever partners during this time that you're relying on. I think that just goes along with that. The Star and the Moon here, that's kind of a nice energy, because the Moon energy deals with our emotions. It also deals with the four energy that we talked about earlier. It's the fourth house in astrology. The moon is the ruler of that house. And so what I'm getting with the moon and star here is that your emotions and wishes and thoughts like that should all balance out and be together. And I think that that kind of goes along with some of the energies that we talked about. We also have a Y, U, and an N. Those could spell out specific words for you. Like you can think of a word, it starts with a Y or whatever. Or they might have other meanings for you when you see those letters. So I'm going to let you guys work with that on your own. Whatever might pop into your head on that. All right, so that kind of reinforced everything that we talked about earlier and kind of helped us talk about some of those things. All right, let's look at your oracle spheres. This is where you think of your yes or no question that you'd like to get an answer to. And then you pick a stand. We have gold, blue, bronze, and green. You decide which one you'd like to get your answers on, and we will go out and we'll get those. All right, number one, gold. Is a not sure. Number two, blue. Is a no. Number three, bronze. Is a not sure. And number four, green. Is a no. Okay, so we have a not sure, a no, a not sure, and a no. Okay, so that's really interesting. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here for the reading. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share the channel with your friends and family, and leave us comments in the comments section. All of those things mean so much to us, and we do appreciate it. Also, if you could stick around for another video, either on my channel or somebody else's, that helps out the YouTube algorithm to decide to share videos with other people, and we would just greatly appreciate it. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's ours or somebody else's, but we would appreciate if you could stick around at least for one other video. All right, guys, we look forward to seeing you again, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.